Formula One is a curious blend of contradictions, a sport that hurtles toward the future while fiercely clutching its past. It thrives on innovation, continuously redefining the boundaries of speed and technology. Yet, in the same breath, it reveres its storied legacy, almost treating the tales of its yesteryears with the same reverence as its modern feats. Formula One doesn't just race against the clock, it keeps a watchful eye on its own timeline. The journey of Formula One as a structured championship began in 1950. What started as a collection of independent Grand Prix races transformed into an official calendar, with the inaugural race held at the iconic Silverstone circuit in Northamptonshire. This venue wasn't just a choice of convenience, it symbolized Europe's dominance in motorsport. For decades, the continent's tracks defined the heartbeat of the sport. It wasn't until 1953, with the Argentinian Grand Prix, that Formula One extended its horizons beyond European borders, embarking on its first global adventure. Fast forward to today, and the Formula One map looks drastically different. The traditional European circuits, once the backbone of the calendar, have been gradually overshadowed by the sport's aggressive expansion into Asia and the Middle East. This season, Europe holds just 9 races, a stark contrast to the 8 hosted by Asia, fueled in no small part by the Middle East's growing presence as a motorsport powerhouse. If this trajectory persists, it's only a matter of time before the balance tips even further. Formula One isn't just a competition of speed and strategy on the asphalt, it's also a relentless battle to conquer global markets. While Europe remains the cradle of its heritage, the sport's ambitions have steered it toward uncharted territories. The North American continent, for instance, has become a hotbed of activity with 4 races, including high-profile stops in Austin and Montreal. Latin America has carved out its niche with the vibrant Mexican and Brazilian Grands Prix, while Australia waves the flag for Oceania with its annual showdown in Melbourne. This rapid globalization, however, has ignited unease among purists. Many historic European circuits find themselves in a precarious position as newer venues lock in long-term contracts that stretch well into the next decade. Tracks like Spa-Francorchamps and Monaco, often regarded as the jewels of Formula One, have only managed to secure short-term extensions until 2025. Meanwhile, venues like Imola and Monza face contract expirations next year, leaving their futures in limbo. The balance between honoring the sport's roots and embracing its global ambitions grows increasingly delicate. As Formula One explores potential new destinations, whispers of races in Argentina, South Africa, and even Rwanda are gaining traction. The sport's allure has also caught the attention of nations like South Korea, Thailand, and Indonesia, all vying for a spot on the coveted calendar. Yet, the Concord Agreement caps the schedule at 24 races, a number already viewed as excessive by many in the paddock. To address this limitation, F1 CEO Stefano Domenicali has floated the idea of rotational hosting for European Grands Prix. We'll have some news soon about a mid-term plan to rotate certain European races while introducing exciting new venues, he teased. This proposed rotation could preserve traditional circuits while accommodating the sport's international ambitions. It's a delicate dance between innovation and heritage, and few tracks illustrate this balance better than Imola. Known for its tight, unforgiving layout, Imola showcased its challenges during the 2024 Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. Max Verstappen's nail-biting victory over Lando Norris highlighted the importance of track position, as overtaking opportunities were scarce, a feature of the circuit that has drawn mixed reactions. Karun Chandhok, a respected voice in the paddock, has questioned Imola's relevance in modern Formula One. While acknowledging its historical importance, Chandhok noted that the circuit's narrow design clashes with the larger dimensions of today's cars, often reducing overtaking to a near impossibility. Honestly, Formula One might have outgrown Imola, he remarked. He also lamented the absence of a German Grand Prix, a glaring omission given the country's deep ties to the sport through legends like Michael Schumacher and Sebastian Vettel. It's baffling not to have a German Grand Prix, especially with Mercedes' dominance and Germany's contribution to F1 history, he added. Germany, a country synonymous with Formula One excellence, has hosted an impressive 79 Grands Prix, second only to Italy. Yet, since 2018, it has been conspicuously absent from the calendar. Former F1 driver Timo Glock sees a glimmer of hope in Hockenheim's potential revival, particularly after its sale to a private entity. Germany, in fact, pioneered the rotational hosting model, alternating between the Nürburgring and Hockenheim Ring from 2007 to 2014. This approach could offer a blueprint for Formula One's future scheduling conundrums. Take Monaco, for instance. Once the pinnacle of glamour and prestige, its position on the calendar now feels more tenuous than ever. Its streets are iconic, but in the modern era of wider, faster cars, the The track often resembles a traffic jam with no overtaking in sight. Drivers may showcase their skill in Saturday's electrifying qualifying, but come race day, the action is often muted. The very qualities that made Monaco a jewel in the crown are now its Achilles heel. The principality no longer wields control over race broadcasts or trackside advertising, and its hosting fee has ballooned to $15 million under a recent deal. But despite this, its deep-rooted ties to Formula One have shielded it for now. If Monaco were a newcomer vying for a slot on today's calendar, it's doubtful it would even make the shortlist. Formula One's global expansion isn't just about planting its flag in new territories. It's a seismic shift in the sport's identity. Traditionalists argue that the essence of Formula One lies in its historic circuits, the very places where legends like Ayrton Senna, Alain Prost, and Niki Lauda etch their names into the record books. Each track has its own unique story to tell. Monza with its high-speed straights, Spa-Francorchamps with its daunting Eau Rouge, and Silverstone, the birthplace of the championship itself. These venues are more than just locations. They are living museums of motorsport history. Yet the march of progress often demands sacrifices, and Formula One appears ready to trade nostalgia for novelty. Meanwhile, newer venues like Singapore and Las Vegas have redefined what it means to host a Formula One event. These races are more than competitions. They are grand spectacles. From dazzling night races under floodlights to massive fan zones filled with entertainment, they cater to a younger, more diverse audience. Singapore's Marina Bay Street circuit, for example, combines technical challenges for drivers with an atmosphere that screams opulence. Las Vegas takes it even further, promising a race that weaves through its neon-lit streets, aiming to redefine how F1 events are experienced. The allure of such venues is undeniable, but they come at a cost. European tracks, often limited by stricter budgets and regulations, struggle to compete with the financial might of their Middle Eastern and Asian counterparts. Historic circuits like Monza and Spa rely heavily on public funding or lower hosting fees, making them vulnerable as Formula One chases higher profits from new markets. It's a ruthless business strategy, but one that aligns with the sport's ambition to dominate globally. At the heart of this transition lies a key question: can Formula One maintain its soul while embracing the future? The answer isn't simple. While it's tempting to romanticize the European tracks, their survival isn't guaranteed. Contracts are increasingly short-term, and negotiations hinge on financial viability rather than historical significance. Domenicali's rotational hosting model could offer a lifeline, allowing circuits to share the burden of hosting fees while keeping their legacy alive. But whether this compromise satisfies fans remains to be seen. Ultimately, Formula One's evolution is a story of contrasts. It's a sport rooted in tradition, yet driven by the allure of progress. It's a balancing act between honoring its past and seizing opportunities for the future. The road ahead is uncertain, but one thing is clear: Formula One is no longer just Europe's sport, it's the world's. Whether this expansion enriches the spectacle or erodes its identity remains the million-dollar question. For fans, the hope is that as Formula One speeds into new territories, it doesn't leave its soul behind. Do you believe Formula One's global expansion enhances the sport's spectacle, or is it risking the loss of its rich European heritage and soul? How should F1 balance tradition with its growing ambitions? Let us know in the comments. Until next time, goodbye for now.